After recent tragedies in our country, school superintendents and law enforcement officials started getting together to discuss what we could do to better protect our students in the unlikely event that we have an emergency on our campuses. So, met with a local software provider, and the Helix Group. We started looking for a solution on the market that automatically locked doors, that automatically facilitated communication with 911, let people check in, that would allow staff to lock down from anywhere on campus quickly, and it didn't exist. So, turn to the Helix Group, which has an impeccable reputation in the community for providing quality solutions, and we made one. And so we are pleased today not only to thank our state legislature, but to demonstrate to our state, our country, and the world the School Alert product, which is the most comprehensive school lockdown system in the nation. And I am so very proud to have such a great leadership team, such a great and supportive and innovative school board to allow us to be the first district in the nation to have this system. This is something that will protect children.
School Alert provides three major things for schools. It decreases the time to lockdown, increases communication, and provides real-time data to the incident commanders, or basically to the administrators of the school site. During the drill, you'll see in practice this going on, and I won't go too far into the technical details because that would be pretty boring. Another great thing about School Alert is that it empowers educators with the application on any device that they so choose. They just download the app off the App Store, whether it's Apple or the Android, and with a few little credentials, they have School Alert going, and it's typed to their school. If the educator so chooses, they do not have to have the application on their iPhone or their tablets or anything like that. It's already provided in the schools on the PCs. So if they do forget their smartphone, they can just punch a special button, the School Alert application comes up on their PC or their workstation, they can lock the school down or push a button that's pertinent to the actual incident. This slide is a great example of basically information being fed from our cloud-based system, School Alert, from the schools, from the users, to school administrators, as well as police, fire, and EMS. Today, during the example, you'll see some of this go on. And I think that concludes the application. It's a very simple application. It's complex technology, but it's very simple and easy to use. Okay, welcome to Alert 101. Today we're going to be going through a drill. If you look back behind here, you'll see Principal Barr. He'll be our threat today. And I'm going to go ahead and start explaining basically what, all over the nation, what schools do for a lockdown without this type of tool. So essentially, if a threat does happen, an educator would basically notice the threat, close off the door, and then go to the intercom system, say right here, pick up the phone, dial an extension, tell them there's a threat, put down the extension, try to remove all the kids from areas that can be seen, and place them somewhere that they can hide. Now, the office will get that information and disseminate whether they need to have police, fire, EMS, or whatever. These processes take between 30 up to 90 seconds, practically a long time. So one of the ways School Alert helps that out is by basically cutting that process down by simply one action, one response, and everything happens. What I mean by everything is that you'll hear an announcement, the doors will lock, as well as the cameras will turn on, and information will be fed to one central location. So today we're going to demonstrate that, and I'm going to have you as my teacher. And could you please stand up for a moment? Why don't you tell everybody who you are?
So I'm State Senator Bruce Dammeier from Puyallup, and this Senate Bill 5197 was I'm the prime sponsor of that. Had some other great sponsors like Senator Becker from the 2nd District as well. So we had a good combination of folks supporting the bill. And it ended up passing unanimously through both houses.
Thank you. Thank you. So the application is very simple. If you could see this, and I'll walk forward here, so you can see it here. Basically, it's just a couple buttons. This is what the end user uses. This is what basically gets them to go. It gets the whole process to go on. Now, you see smaller buttons here. Smaller buttons for different incidences. The software is dynamic enough where basically a school can type a different incident to a different button. So if they need a nurse, they can click for a nurse. If they need a lockdown, they got a big giant red button for lockdown. Very simple process. So, yep, Principal Barr will be the actual threat. That sounds like a threat.
Doesn't sound good to me.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna initiate the lockdown.
Good job. If you look behind you, Senator.
This is a drill. Rainier Middle School is locked down. This is a drill. Rainier Middle School is locked down. This is a drill. Rainier Middle School is locked down.
So, Senator, why don't you do me a favor and why don't you tell me when a notification comes up, which this is a notification. Now, I got to go do a few things as a teacher real quick, but why don't you go ahead and put in your location, which your room 121. Great. Now say we have approximately 25 people, 25 students.
You want me to initiate that?
Yes, please. And our threat's high, right here, which is a big
Danger.
danger. Let me show everybody. This is what he just did, right here. See, it's a message system. There we go. Go ahead and hit send.
Send.
Now, if we as if I was an actual educator, I'd have you all stand up after I immediately close the door. You know, I wouldn't take this long. I'd have you all stand on this side of the room. We'd close the blinds and we'd hunker down as part of the policy for Rainier School District. This app is a tool. The app does not save lives. People save lives. This tool facilitates the life-saving process quicker. And that's what this does. Now, if you avert your eyes up here, you'll see basically the incident log. This is where all the data that I mentioned goes for an incident commander or a superintendent or a principal to use. And what you're seeing here are messages. So if we look at this situation right here, these are the people that are checking in. These are teachers. So look at Tim Garshaw. Click open Tim Garshaw, please. Tim doesn't have his picture up here, but he's 32 years of age. We could send him a nice message saying, how are you? Are you okay? Do you have any injuries? Go ahead and close it, please. Then, right over here, we have our users, so we can actually view them individually if we want. We can actually look at the cameras if we want. Give it a moment. It takes a moment for everything to load. And there we go. So you can see what's going on in the school. Our room is right below here. So you'll see, I think the SWAT already came in and left, but hopefully we get to see the SWAT here pretty soon.
They're right there.
Oh, they're right there. So they're getting ready to clear the room. So go ahead and close that, please, for me, so we can look at the incident. Basically, they can communicate back and forth with the incident commander at any time. And they can also communicate freely with the incident commander as they need.
Online or walkie-talkie or?
No, just text messaging back and forth. We'll have, yeah, on the device, probably about 4 to 6 months, we'll actually have a walkie-talkie function. But we're not going to give them that necessarily. It's going to be activated by the incident commander, because what will happen is that we'll have a lot of people try to come in, and that would be not very useful. So,
when we were working the bill, a couple things that I think are particularly important. One of the things that came out is that mobility is important. You can't always, the teacher might not always be able to get to a landline, might not, especially if they're in a secure location. You know, in some cases they lock down in bathrooms or things like that, where there wouldn't be a phone. So giving them the ability to communicate from that point.
Coming in! Please! Who's the teacher? Who's the teacher? Any injuries?
No.
Okay. Everyone stand up and line up at the front door behind this officer right here. Any students unaccounted for?
No, they're all accounted for. No
Okay.
No injuries whatsoever.
Moving up.
One of the things that is really cool about School Alert is that it's going to be in this school. So the SWAT team here today, this is a training exercise that allows us to see how the system works for the Thurston County SWAT team and how it works for the local law enforcement here, so that we know what we can do when we respond here, how to make contact, who to contact, and working collaboratively. And that is something that is really big in our world right now, is that in law enforcement, with all the budgets that we're seeing through state, that goes on down to local and into law enforcement, we understand that we need to work together collaboratively with law enforcement, with our schools, and with the private sector to come up with ways that we can make it the best way that we can get our kids to feel safer at school, our parents to feel that their kids are going to be safe when they drop them off here, and that the teachers can teach and not have to worry about this. And I think this is a great way to start off with the school alert, is that we have a direct communication with law enforcement, with our 911 system, that we can directly communicate, we can shut down the school, lock it down faster than we've ever been able to before. That means a quicker response and a quicker rescue to the children that are in need. And so that's what this program is really about. And I just want to say thank you for coming up with this great program. I'm really looking forward to some more innovative and creative ideas from the Helix Corporation. So thank you.